Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feather Snap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 1009. Here's a quick reminder that the Great Citizen Science Project, known as Project Feeder Watch, begins on November 1st. It's a survey from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and Birds Canada of birds that visit backyards and other locales all over North America. Citizen science projects don't get any more flexible than this one, by the way. Despite the name, you don't even have to have a feeder to take part, just a place where you watch birds. And you can count for as much or as little time as you like. That is pretty flexible. You can find out all about it at feederwatch.org. We have a compact but colorful audio postcard today from Mark in San Diego, California, who's with some famously clown-faced friends.
Hi, Ray. This is Mark Dayton, the San Diego Bird Guide, and what you're hearing around me here are acorn woodpeckers, and quite a few of them calling out here, so I'll let you guys listen to them. And those are acorn woodpeckers, and hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye, Mark. Thank you for that audio postcard. Those amazing acorn woodpeckers, those are some fascinating birds to learn about, for sure. Send us an audio postcard. How to make one? Grab your smartphone or some other digital recording thing and just describe what you're seeing. 30 seconds, a minute, Lord, whatever. What you're seeing or hearing, because as in that case, you heard the great way we could hear all those acorn woodpeckers. So send that file to ray@talkingbirds.com. That's ray@talkingbirds.com. And now here's a bird that doesn't sound anything like an acorn woodpecker. That is our mystery bird. We'll be doing the actual contest a little bit later, so why are we talking about it now? Well, because we want you to get familiar with our mystery bird so that when we give the signal, you'll be all set to call in and tell us what you think that bird is, because we didn't used to do previews, and then folks would generally call after the show had ended when they'd thought about the mystery bird for a while. So our idea to fix that was to give a preview, and that's what we're doing here. Our medium-sized perching mystery bird has a mottled brown back and wings, and is pale gray over most of its body with bold black and white stripes on its head. It has a kind of a pale pink or yellow bill and a long tail. Our bird, which winters over most of North America and breeds mostly up in northern Canada and Alaska, is a ground feeder, foraging mostly for insects. That would be our mystery bird, and as usual, we have some pretty swell prizes here for the winner of our contest. Don't forget, even if you get the wrong answer, you might be the winner, because the drawing will determine our winner in that case. And we have something that'll make your bird feeding really special this fall and winter. It's a Broom Mega 600 feeder with an extra large tube that holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, and it's easy to clean and chew-proof. It includes the Broom seed ventilation system to keep the seed cool and dry, or keep the cool seed and dry, whichever you prefer. But it does both of those things, and that's why it's the Broom Mega 600 feeder. It is a beautiful feeder. All Broom feeders, by the way, come with that lifetime care warranty. And another beautiful prize from Fresh Cut Paper, makers of beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. We have 5 of those gorgeous bouquets that also have a small fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers. So we are proud to provide prizes from these prize providers. So that's our prize list for this morning. And if we get to a bonus question, we also have a feather-friendly window collision kit on our Mystery Bird contest coming along just a little bit later on. It's a royal salute to another member of the royalty of the Talking Birds listening audience, and that's our ambassadors. Kayla Nanda from Highland Park, New Jersey, is a Talking Birds ambassador who was listening to our 1,000th show, and she said, listening to the 1,000th show and realize I always forget to sign up as an ambassador. Hopefully I'll help with that push to 900. We'll make good fodder for my chats with people who stop to talk about my native garden. After all, birds are a huge part of why I planted it. That's a beautiful thing, and we, of course, did make it to that 900 members of our ambassadors family, thanks to Kayla and others. We'll talk more about Kayla because she's doing some special stuff there. We'll be posting some pictures of the good work that she's doing for that native habitat there. Well, let's see. On our show today, still to come, we'll talk with two scientists from Washington, D.C., who are doing something good for a river that needs some help, and they're doing it by kayak. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike segment, almost live from the archive, about why northern mockingbirds are doing what they do at a time of year when we might not expect them to be doing it, he said. And in just 30 seconds, we'll return to California to hear about a bird that was recently noted there, apparently for the first time. But first, this short but important message.
Hey, it's Debbie from the Talking Birds crew. Around here, we're always thinking about what we can do to make the world better for all creatures, including birds. One of the most important things we can do is vote. Did you know that 8 million environmentalists skipped the 2020 presidential election? Let's not skip this one. Our votes matter. Check your registration and find out where to vote at vote.org. That's vote.org.
On last week's show, we mentioned the birding community e-bulletin's report of some rare bird sightings. And one of those birds is this week's featured feathered friend, the slate-throated redstart. A brightly colored warbler that's found in forested mountains from northern Mexico through Central America and south through the Andes to central Bolivia. The rare sighting was at Pine Lake Park in San Francisco in late July. It's not only this redstart's throat that's slate-colored. That color also extends to most of its head, except for an orange-brown crown patch, as well as its back and wings and most of the tail. White edges on the tail give the bird an alternate name, slate-colored whitestart, reflecting its animated foraging movements in which the bird raises and spreads its tail to show the white patches on the outer tail feathers while drooping their wings. These animated displays startle flying insects, which are then captured in acrobatic pursuit flights. In birds of northern and central Mexico, the breast and belly are a bright red, while birds in South America are yellow on the belly and breast. The slate-throated redstart's song has been described as a series of rich chips. The slate-throated redstart, or whitestart, Myoboros miniatus, today's Talking Birds featured feathered friend. Welcome again to our show number 1009. Well, here at Talking Birds, we promote something called plurting. Plurting is a mashup word from picking up litter while birding. And there are many similar mashups, like plishing, picking up litter while fishing, and plogging, picking up litter while jogging. All these things are in the service of trying to make our planet a little cleaner, a little safer, and a little less toxic for all the inhabitants of planet Earth. Well, for about 4 years now, Kent Fothergill and Kelly Tyndall have been engaged in something that they call trash yakking. That is, pulling out trash while kayaking. And what they're doing is not kind of paddling along in a casual fashion, picking up things as they go. In their work in the Anacostia River in Washington, D.C., an infamously polluted river for many years, they plunge into this activity, quite literally in many cases, more than 100 times a year. And they're here with us to tell us something about it. Good morning, Kelly and Kent.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. And when we first spoke, I said that you guys are my heroes, and you really are, thanks to this great volunteer work that you're doing. Let me start with you, Kent, since I believe you started the whole trash yakking thing. Give us a description, if you would, of a typical trash yakking outing, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, there really isn't a typical. Basically, winds, tides, recent storms, it all comes into play. It's a pretty opportunistic thing, but the Anacostia has so much trash that wherever you go, there's trash yakking opportunity.
Yeah, never a dull moment there. So you're doing this in kayaks. No doubt folks would figure you're quite limited in the size of items you could haul out of the river, but they would be wrong about that. Tell us about some of the very large objects that you've retrieved.
Well, there are weight limits. I have swam next to my kayak when I don't have enough weight limit to allow me and the trash on the kayak.
Yeah, that's the plunging in part that I mentioned.
Yes, Ray, yes. But yeah, king size mattresses, couches, hot water heaters.
Well, those are pretty big. Those are pretty big items that people would not think you could do anything with in a kayak, but obviously you do. So, Kelly, I read that you were understandably reluctant to put your hands into the river at first, but you certainly got over that as you developed a relationship with the river and wanted to help her out, as you said. And you have some good collaborators that really make what you do possible at the level at which you do it, especially the folks at Bladensburg Waterfront Park. Tell us how that collaboration works.
So you said that we're your heroes. They're our heroes because they take all of the trash and they do it with a smile on their face because they recognize this park as a resource for, heavily populated area. And they rent kayaks and people want to fish there. And as you mentioned, it's a historically polluted river. And, anything that helps the river helps their park and the customers of their park. And, for me, it was just as simple as I was tired. I wanted off of the boat, wanted to go back. And I looked over and there was a shoreline that was just completely probably 4 feet out into the water, just trash. And I was like, Kent, as much as I want to leave, she was there tugging on my heartstrings that day and went over there. And the funny thing is that when we were out of trash bags, one magically appeared from the river from some cleanup event that they just left a trash bag. And she was like, nope, you're not done yet. I've got a captive audience willing to help. And here's something to help you help me. That's kind of how that started.
Yeah, so everything you collect, you can just give to them and they take it from there.
Yes. And we're not the only people. There's a group called DC Trash Paddlers, and they also go out. They use kayaks, canoes, SUPs, which are stand-up paddleboards. And there's people all over the country that are utilizing kayaks and canoes to really move incredible amounts of trash.
So a lot of great help. You also have a four-legged helper on board with you, if I'm not mistaken, whose name is Annie, right?
Yeah, we named her. Her full name is Anacostia River Pup, but we call her Annie for short, and she goes out there with us all the time.
Nice. Well, you're both scientists. Kelly, you're an entomologist. Kent, you're a biologist. I wonder if one or both of you might offer a thought on how your science backgrounds come into play with your trash yakking.
Begin with, Ray. It doesn't take advanced degree to pick up trash. But we're scientists, so keep an Excel spreadsheet, so if somebody asks, we can say, oh yeah, this is what we pulled. Trash on a mudflat is a place where predators can hide and presents a zone of inhibition for shorebirds. And in the DC area, we're not making new mudflats. And so when we've cleared 100 tires off a mudflat, we've really increased the amount of usable habitat for migrating shorebirds. That's one way a biologist can try to rationalize what we're doing with our spare time.
Indeed. And in terms of what you're picking up in the river, I guess it's not surprising that you say that plastic bottles are the number one item of trash. Something like 360,000 so far you've removed from the river. What a shocking number that is. And I think I read, too, that you've talked about how a bottle bill would help. Is that something in the works? Is that a possibility?
We hear rumors.
It could help, if it were to come to fruition and get voted on. But, people don't like taxes, so who knows what will happen.
Well, WAMU, public radio station in D.C., just recently published a wonderful piece on their website, wamu.org, detailing your trash yakking in words and photographs that really give a sense of the work that you're doing on the river and the challenges. And there's a quote there from Robert Walker, the facilities manager at Bladensburg Park that we mentioned. And he described the impact of your work as astronomical, not only to the river, but, quote, as a visual clue to everyone that sees them or gets to know them, that one or two people can make a difference, a huge difference, end quote. We're getting close to running out of time. Let me just wrap up by asking, and I'll toss this one to Kent. What's a realistic goal for this river that runs right through our nation's capital? Can we hope for swimming one day?
Yeah, I've already done it. So,
okay.
but really and truly, it's interesting because, we had the Olympics recently and they had some problems with an open water swimming quality. And what they were shooting for was twice the level of contamination that the Anacostia is shooting for. So I think we can reach it. The city of DC just spent millions of dollars on a program to remove sewer outflows. So, yeah, it actually could be happening. I don't know that it'll be 2025, but it might happen.
So would it be fair to say, Kent and Kelly, that you're pretty optimistic for a really good outcome for the river?
Yeah, it's a beautiful river. I mean, you see beavers and eagles and osprey and
kingfishers are big too. They're one of my favorites.
Worth putting in that effort for sure. Kent Fothergill and Kelly Tyndall are creators and implementers of a wonderful effort on Washington, D.C.'s Anacostia River that they call trash yakking, pulling out river trash by kayak. Well, Kelly and Kent, thank you for being with us. Thanks for your great work on behalf of a great river. And I hope for inspiring others to follow your lead in some other rivers out there. There are plenty of them that could use some help for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the river story.
Kent Fothergill and Kelly Tyndall here on Talkin' Birds. And up next, it's our Mystery Bird Contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. It's our mystery bird. And we're ready to give you the phone number now because this is the actual contest itself. And here's the number to call. We'll give it again after. 781-837-4900. Don't forget, for next time, if you're not listening to our show live, you can do so very easily. Just go to talkingbirds.com and you'll see how to do it under the Listen tab. Our medium-sized perching mystery bird has a mottled brown back and wings, pale gray over most of its body with bold black and white stripes on its head, a pale pink or yellow bill and a long tail. Our bird, which winters over most of North America and breeds mostly up in northern Canada and Alaska, is a ground feeder, foraging mostly for insects. That's our mystery bird right there. And there it is again, and beautiful prizes await, including that very, very special Broome Mega 600 feeder. Holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, easy to clean, shoe-proof, has the ventilation system and all that, and from fresh-cut paper. 5 of those beautiful floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. Here on our Mystery Bird Contest, and here is that number, 781-837-4900. Please do call us as soon as possible, 781-837-4900. Meanwhile, we'll check in with Mike O'Connor, almost live from the archive. Let's ask Mike in just 1 minute.
Ready to take your backyard bird watching to the next level? FeatherSnap makes Wi-Fi-enabled smart bird feeders that blend the best of technology and nature. Get a high-def glimpse of your feathered friends with a top-of-the-line camera so every visitor can be seen with clarity and detail. A unique dual feeder bin helps attract more species, and built-in solar panels keep your camera's battery going strong. FeatherSnap's mobile app creates a truly immersive experience, allowing you to collect and organize your favorite pics and videos and earn badges along the way. FeatherSnap is a convenient and fun way to capture powerful images of your local birds and help get your friends and family excited about bird watching. Best of all, FeatherSnap offers expert-trained AI identification of more than 275 North American species, thanks to their in-house ornithologist. Check them out today at feathersnapcam.com. feathersnapcam.com.
Now it's down to the Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod, where trick-or-treaters who visit receive suet bars and little bags of sunflower seed. Mike O'Connor is there. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ray, and happy Halloween to everybody. Don't listen to you. We're giving away nothing.
Nothing at all. Okay, well, good to know ahead of time, you know.
Yeah. No, you'll get some. We'll give you some suet. We don't care. You know, it's a festive time of year. Yeah. So sure.
You just like a handful. Is that how you do it? You kind of hold out your hand and you put the suet right in.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, because we're trying to save packaging, so everybody just grabs.
You really are. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
All about the environment.
What do you got here this morning?
Oh, I thought about doing a show about something spooky about birds, but I decided birds aren't spooky. Birds are creatures that we look for enjoyment. So I didn't want to tell people a spooky story about birds, but I do want to give a shout out, speaking with at least a spooky name, to Wicked Liz up there in St. Cloud, Minnesota. She sent you a nice note and gave me some plugs. So that's as spooky as we're going to get. A shout out to Wicked Liz up there in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
She's not spooky at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But I did get a couple of notes from people who want to know why northern mockingbirds a very popular bird. As a matter of fact, it's the state bird of how many U.S. states, Ray?
Oh, it's
That's
probably
right.
half a dozen, is it? Or
It's close, yep.
Yeah?
5.
5, yeah.
5 U.S. states, so that's not bad. It's a very popular bird, and a lot of people talking about them singing right now, or doing their mimics, their imitations. They're very good mimics. They imitate other birds and other sounds, too, including mechanical sounds and things like that. And most birds sing in the spring because that's their breeding territory, and they want to announce it, and they want to get a mate. But most of them go quiet this time of year. But a few birds, namely owls, that stay on their territory year-round. And around here at Carolina Wren, another bird that stays on its territory year-round, they're very vocal, and they're trying to defend their little territory. But mockingbirds are a little different. They have a spring territory like everybody else, and they give their multiple calls. But this time of year, they're also doing it, but not so much for breeding territory. They find a patch of food that they want, and they don't want anybody coming near it. So they sing to keep other mockingbirds away. But they also want to keep other, like you said, starlings you mentioned earlier, and robins and other birds they'll eat the berries off their plants. So they're very aggressive, and they're very good at keeping the other birds away. But they'll also sing to keep other mockingbirds away. And some people will complain if they get a mockingbird, it'll drive all the other birds out of their way, out of their yard. But they'll figure it out. They will always figure it out.
Just like the trick-or-treaters, they'll figure it out if they want a handful of suet. Birdwatchers General Store is a place.
That's right. Dig in. They get no packaging today.
Talk to you next week, Mike.
Okay, you too, Ray. Bye-bye.
Mike O'Connor there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And we're back to the Mystery Bird Contest one more time to see if we can identify this medium-sized bird with a mottled brown back and wings and those bold black and white stripes on its head. And we have Jasmine calling in from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good morning, Jasmine. Hello. I know it's a long way up there to Canada, but
hello.
Hello, Jasmine.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Are you getting any winter finches up there?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. All right. Well, let us know. We're here in the Mystery Bird Contest trying to identify the bird that you just heard, and you heard the clues about the bird and all of that. And so in conclusion, what would you say the bird is, Jasmine?
My guess is the white-crowned sparrow.
Tim, what do you think? The white-crowned sparrow? I believe Tim is nodding very enthusiastically there, so that must be right.
Yes, that's correct. Yes,
Thank you, Tim.
Yes,
Thank
wait,
you.
there's the applause. Hey!
Yes. Thank you. I knew that. Thank you,
All
Tim.
right.
Tim is not a guy that rushes into things. He wants to think it over. You know what I mean? But you are, without question now, you are correct. So thank you, Jasmine, and good luck with some finches and other birds. Maybe you'll get some snowy owls, and maybe we will too, and we'll just see. But if you'll stay on the line, Tim will help you out there and get your info, and we'll send you some beautiful prizes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jasmine, up in Toronto, correctly identifying our mystery bird, the white-crowned sparrow. This is an interesting thing I read from our friends at Cornell Lab, that a young male white-crowned sparrow learns the basics of its song that it'll sing as an adult during the first 2 or 3 months of its life, not directly from its parents, but rather from the generalized song environment of the neighborhood. That's pretty interesting. I would think that would have some interesting implications on just the exact sound that it would be producing. But one thing is for sure, we're out of time for our show today. That means we're going to go and work on the next one. So thank you for being with us, and thanks to our amazing Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and today's producing engineer, Tim McKenney.
Timber!
I'm Ray Brown, and we'll see you next week.
The bird show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feather Snap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.